how do you feel about guiding us through something?
Yeah, I like that. I'll explain to you first what we're going to do, just so you have a bit of an idea, and then I'll guide you through. So the practice...
Just before we do that, maybe, is this a safe thing to do? Let's say someone's listening to this and they're driving their car. Do we need any disclaimers if people are operating heavy machinery whilst they listen to podcasts?
I would encourage people to find a place where they can be undisturbed for a few minutes. Eventually, you might be able to use this practice in your car. Maybe it's not the best place to start. So perhaps
maybe pause and come back if you are on your way.
Exactly. You can sort of tune back in. And I guess, yeah, so basically just finding a place where you can be undisturbed for a few minutes. Yeah. The type of practice I was thinking of is it's called a back body practice, and I guess especially for practitioners, but not just only for practitioners, also individuals in the world, there can be sometimes a real sense of being alone in this, and being alone with your clients, and having to hold all this stuff that is coming up all by yourself. Right? And that can be really difficult for our nervous system. And this back body practice, I guess it's an embodied way to access some of the supports that you hold within your body, that are perhaps around you too. And I would encourage people, if this practice resonates, I would encourage people to perhaps incorporate that as a sort of regular practice. And the reason for that is because the more you practice this, the more your body develops a memory of it. So then when you're with the client, you can easily access it. So yeah, if this resonates, feel free to practice it as often as you like. And also, if at any point this practice becomes not useful, feel free to stop or do something different. It's your choice. So feel free to maybe make any kind of movements that you might like to make. I heard recently, like, describing this sort of moving around as like being a fussy cat, sort of before they settle in for their afternoon nap. And I really like that, sort of like just making some movements. And taking your time with that. Eventually finding a seated position with your body. And I will practice together with you, and I will have my eyes closed because it helps me to guide you through. But feel free to have your eyes open or closed, depending on what feels useful to you. And perhaps initially taking a moment to notice where your body is supported by the surface beneath you, maybe the surface behind you. If it's useful, you're welcome to perhaps take an inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. Whenever you're ready, taking a moment to become aware of the front part of your body. So noticing your forehead, the rest of your face, your throat, your chest, your arms, your belly, your pelvis, fronts of your legs, and the tops of your feet. And then allowing the front of your body to soften, whatever that looks like for you. Noticing how bringing in softness feels in your body right now. Allowing the front of your body to soften. In your own time, shifting your awareness to the top of your head. And then imagining a center line all the way from the top of your head, all the way down to your sit bones. And then allowing your breath to travel up and down this channel. If it's useful, you could imagine some color or some light in that channel too. Or you could use your breath as it is. Allowing your breath to travel up and down that channel. Knowing that there's not a right or wrong way to practice this. Maybe taking another 5 to 8 rounds of breath. Allowing your breath to travel from the crown of your head to your sit bones and then all the way back up. And then whenever you feel ready, there's no rush. Shifting into your back body. And that shift is like a micro movement. So moving from that center line, like a tiny little movement into your back body. Might not be visible at all. And noticing the back of your head, the back of your neck, shoulder blades, back of your ribs, lower back. Your pelvis. Back of your legs. Perhaps the soles of your feet. And then you can experiment with shifting between being in your back body and moving back into that center line. And as I said, it's a tiny micro shift. So maybe experimenting between moving from your back body back into the center line and back into your back body. Noticing what that feels like for you to make this micro shift. Staying here for a little while longer. And if it's useful, when you're in your back body next, perhaps pausing here. Maybe imagining the support that you do have in your life having your back. So it could be people, could be animals, could be nature, could be really anything that feels supportive. Noticing the support. And as you're noticing the support, perhaps paying attention to how the rest of your body feels. Allowing this to imprint into your nervous system, a sense of support. And whenever you feel ready, welcome to shift back into that central channel. Taking a few rounds of breath here. And then if you had your eyes closed, starting to open your eyes, perhaps leaving your gaze soft. And as you're welcoming your environment, perhaps noticing what it feels like to connect with your environment after this practice. Whenever it is a useful time for you, you're welcome to expand your awareness, perhaps looking around. You're welcome to bring in movements, however you might like